Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Vintage at the request of Patreon subscriber Claire, and this is it. We're doing it. It's Fantasticar Raker Shops. The Fantasticar is a card that was spoiled a couple weeks ago, but is now officially available. In the 24 hours or so at the time of recording that Marvel has been live on Magic Online, there are already 7 posted 5.0 trophies with this deck. And Raker Shops is not the only home for it either. It has a bunch of legacy trophies posted. This is one of those cards that I wish somebody who played Vintage and Legacy looked at for 10 seconds before they printed it with these numbers on it, but here we go. 3 mana legendary vehicle. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may have Fantasticar become an artifact creature until end of turn, and its base stats are 4/4 with flying. And whenever you cast your 4th non-creature spell each turn, you may sacrifice the Fantasticar. If you do, create 4/4/4 colorless construct artifact creature tokens with flying and haste. Anyone who plays Vintage knows a 3 mana artifact has to be looked at very close because of the card Mishra's Workshop. Tap, add 3, spend this only to cast artifacts. And then, also, the Vintage format, full of 0 cost spells that literally everyone plays, unless you're playing Budget or Bazaar is your shell instead, but most normal decks have pretty much all these cards in them. And Raker Shop specifically is a deck built to do something messed up on turn 1 that usually involves a bunch of spells. This deck is built on the loop of Sensei's Divining Top with Glaring Flesh Raker. If you have a Flesh Raker and 2 tops, you play a top, you make a spawn, you ping your opponent for 1, you draw a card, you play another top, sacking the spawn, replace the spawn, ping your opponent for 1, and then you flip this top into the top you flipped already, and you can loop 2 tops for infinite damage just off of Glaring Flesh Raker. But now if you don't have Glaring Flesh Raker, but you do have 4 mana, which is not hard to do in this deck, 1 Mishra's Workshop plus any of these other cards will get it done. You can just loop those 2 tops 4 times and trigger your Fantasticar. The deck is phenomenal at going mana even on plays like Grim Monolith, play Tezzeret, untap Grim Monolith, or Tezzeret tutors Black Lotus. That's just a non-creature spell along the chain. Like Grim Monolith casting Tezzeret, grabbing Black Lotus, that's 3 non-creature spells right there. And you still have the same amount of mana as you did when you started. Not hard to get this thing going, and it's in a shell where it's not the only thing going on. I'm a little worried. Like, this is the kind of thing going on in a format that makes me not actually want to play it. I wish that I could just ignore Vintage for a few weeks, see what things actually look like, and then revisit it. But it is my job as one of the regular Vintage content creators to do this while we've got access to it, though I don't think we'll have access to it for very long. This is Fantasticar Raker Shops. Let's do it. I'm on the play in round 1, and I have a turn 1 Trinisphere plus other stuff. I'm playing against Absorbent 3, who I believe tends to play ultra fair decks, generally speaking. The Fantasticar is not in this hand, but like I said, the deck does other things too. What I'm really worried about for this video is that I just queue into 5 mirror matches. I don't know that Vintage has become rotten to its core that quickly, and I hope we get some variety here. And it's a real shame too, because Vintage was by far the most healthy Eternal format up to this point. Mental Misstep's pretty good. What I was trying to do there was sneak my Flesh Raker in and my Trinisphere, but fine, I'll just cast Trinisphere, I guess. Okay, we're in there. Wasteland is also fine. Ancient Tomb, now I don't even have to spend my City of Traders. And this is what I was talking about in the deck tech of, I'm not doing the thing, but what I am doing is still pretty messed up. I'll continue casting all the cards in my hand. Spin my top. Tomb, Monolith. Okay, that's pretty underwhelming, but my opponent is under Trinisphere. Hopefully we can find some action before that becomes an issue. Fetching Wood of Foothills, Boseiju, I think, is one of the only things that can be done in Magic here, but I would assume my opponent's deck has a lot of Boseijus in it. Oh, Elvish Spirit Guide. Creating Grist. Yeah, Elvish Spirit Guide can muscle through here. That plays. Deathrite Gem and Milled. Okay, if I flip top in the end step, I have Grim Monolith and top to play next turn, which guarantees a spell, versus leaving top in play to look at my 3rd card down and hope it's good, and that would save me 3 mana. Would I rather have 2 pings, 2 damage, or 3 mana I think in this case, I'd rather have the mana now that this Grist is in play. I'll look at my top 3. The Fantasticar. Okay. When and how do I cast that? If I flip top, I can cast 2 non-creature spells this turn. Next turn, I can cast 3. But the car also is just a truck. Like, a car is a truck. LOL. Uh, thing can just attack for 4 when I'm not doing the other stuff. So let's start there. It doesn't have haste. I can't attack with it this turn, unfortunately. I'm going to attack Grist. This makes it so either Grist dies if it kills my Flesh Raker, or they don't have a creature to sack to Grist necessarily. Either of those is fine with me. Fantasticar, and I think I want to hold back the Grim Monolith. Grist making another bug, milling over a Grief, and missing a land drop. That's good for me. 1, 2, 3. Play Sensei's top. I do want to wake up the Fantasticar. It could Beseiju the car, but I imagine Beseiju may have been played by a land by now, if that's something they had access to. I'll spin my top, see if I can get 4 spells this turn. No, but Tolarian Academy is pretty strong. Okay, attack Grist and attack my opponent. I might be able to just kill my opponent here, but this Flesh Raker is doing a lot. And if Grist can't kill it, then I'm pretty stoked. Okay, passing the turn. Opponent's at 9. Milled over a Spirit Guide. And I'm going to end step, do a trick. No, I'm not. I'm just going to draw with top. This gives me an extra spell to cast. Sensei's top. Car. Spin the top. Action, baby. Manifold Key on top of my deck. That's another spell. I still can't get to 4 spells right now, but I can make Flesh Raker unblockable. I should have played Academy first. That was bad sequencing, but it's still going to work. Grim Monolith. Opponent's at 7. Manifold Key. Opponent's going to be at 6, and that's exactly what I'm attacking for. Raker can't be blocked. And there it is. Not the fireworks we were talking about, but also not a particularly competitive game. Here on the sideboard is where I wish I knew more about playing Raker shops at baseline. I don't think I need Vexing Bauble here. Trinisphere was obviously MVP. I'm going to expect some large amount of Force of Vigors. Probably Collector Ooves. Chalice of the Void doesn't seem very important here either. Probably shave some number of keys. Like, probably exactly 1. And this is what I mean by some number. How hard do I pivot when I have these Masticores coming in as pivot threats? And Karn could wish for Paradox Engine. Maybe Karn isn't actually good. So I don't think it's shutting off any of my opponent's stuff. And the wish board isn't important either. We shave a Monolith. And do I just stop there? 4 Talon Gates and a Dismember plus Masticore. Do I need both Dismembers? I want them for sure. I just don't know where I find the goods. Everything else here looks great. You shave a top. I guess you could, if you're expecting a large amount of Collector Ooves. Okay, this is not quite a turn 1 Masticore. Masticore is very good, though. All right, I'm going to keep. This is a turn 1 Glaring Flesh Raker, if I want it. All right, Grief pitching Deathrite Shaman. Enjoy. These are my cards. Look at them. My hand is pretty solid. This is not a hand that's like a bunch of air and a Fantasticar or something. I expect to get scammed here. Okay, Deathrite. Mana Vault. Uh-oh. Vault. We have the misstep again. Nice. All right. Fair enough. Manifold Key. And I think I should actually hold back Mox Ruby. All right. I'll make Force of Vigor better now to make Mindbreak Trap worse later. All right. I will make that executive decision. That was the decision between holding Ruby or not. And like Flesh Raker. But I would need Ruby to play Flesh Raker. Deathrite Shaman in combat. I drew something with a relevant mana value. Opponent has missed a land drop. I've got the Masticore, who has protection from Deathrite Shaman, just in case that wants to attack again. There are no lands in the graveyard right now, and I'm not in a hurry to put any there. Okay, upkeep. I'll discard Grim Monolith and cook the Shaman. Handled. Oh my god. Okay, I'll attack with Masticore first and make my opponent. If they have anything, let's make them deal with it before they know Trinisphere is coming. All right, bang, Trinisphere. They either have something like Force of Vigor. Okay, they do have Force of Vigor. They needed that right now, or they were fully, completely dead. They're still not in great shape, but they aren't literally dead. And that's why I didn't Trinisphere before combat, because that Force of Vigor would have saved 5 damage. Right, I'll just keep drawing spells, though. It's fine. Tez. What does this get? Do I just grab a Sensei's Top? I think that's reasonable. Start making my draws good while my opponent can't do anything. Okay, Top's in play. I'll activate that in my next upkeep. Second land. The Seiju's now online. Upkeep, spin top. The One Ring. That card's pretty good. Okay, I will draw the One Ring. And then draw all these other cards too. Hold on, hold on. Spend my mana correctly. Artifact mana first. One Ring, draw a card. Tez goes up. Untap target artifact. Draw 2 cards. Playing Shop kills City of Brass, but that's fine here. Or City of Traders. There is no City of Brass in play. That would be a weird card to have in my colorless deck. Spin top with my last floating mana. I can still do stuff here. A Masticore and another Dismember. Alright, pass. Something's happening. We have a Spirit Guide. Oh, a Spirit Guide to cast Emerald. Yeah, I guess it's like Spirit Guide forever. Might as well do it. And now I have a big turn to go nuts. Masticore, draw 3. No reason to spend top. I'm drawing all of these cards. Okay. My own Trinisphere is keeping me from winning the game right now, unfortunately. But I'm still doing other cool stuff. I think I should use Tez to draw with the ring. I was about to try to get clever and see if I could do anything else and save Tez for another spot, but no, I can't. And it doesn't matter. A Masticore, and now we're doing damage. Tez ticking up, which was actually a mistake. I should have played the other Tez. I sequenced this wrong. That's fine. Different Tez. Keep the new one. And I could just draw 5 cards right now. That sounds pretty good. Draw 5. And I've got 3 mana to spend here on artifacts, 2 mana on non-artifacts. I guess I'll take a play from my opponent's book and just cast a Mox for 3 here. I've got a Grip full of One Rings to replace the one that's in play in case it's in danger of killing me. Discard Ancient Tomb, and probably one of the Dismembers. I have Talon Gates and another Dismember, and my opponent is almost dead here. They need something pretty serious, like destroy all artifacts effect, like Land Shatterstorm, but even that doesn't win. Okay, Fantasticar, not really. Or no, that's not even true. Game 1, Fantasticar did just do most of the damage in a spot where I wasn't doing anything else. I haven't broken a Fantasticar yet, but it was still just good, as Richard Garfield intended. On to the next round. The BoshNRoll channel is brought to you by Tales of Adventure. TOAMagic.com has almost 100,000 unique cards in stock. They offer free track shipping on every order, plus next day or 2-day options when you have an event coming up fast. They offer on-site pickup at major Magic events throughout the US, so you're never scrambling before your tournament. Stop by their booth to buy, sell, or trade at upcoming regional championships, Magic Con, Spotlight Series, and more. I love their selection of individually scanned high-end cards that show you exactly what you're buying. And the best part is saving 5% on every order with promo code BOSH. From Ancestral Recall to Zombie Master, get what you need quickly and in one place at TOAMagic.com. Eternal lives here. I'm on the draw in round 2 with a hand that is close. This is a turn 2 win, like outright GG, through no interaction. It's a turn 1 win if I draw anything that makes 1 mana. I think you keep these. What percentage of my deck is mana? This is something that a Raker Shops player should know. 15 lands, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 artifacts. 25. Oh, Grim Monolith also counts. Key also counts. That's 33. Well over half the deck is mana. Okay. All right, opponent's on a Mull to 5 with Bazaar. Let's hope this is a and that they kept because they have to, and not one that has a bunch of interaction in it. No dredgers discarded. That bodes poorly for my hope they have no interaction. Well, there's the mana that wins the game if I get to do everything I want to do here. Monolith, Raker. They have Force. This is probably the spot. Lotus Petal, ding ya. Sensei's Top, ding ya. And I am, of course, going for the lethal line, not the one that is more thrilling with the Fantasticar. All right, all right. You stopped your actual death from occurring. I'm going to spin top. If there's just another top there, it's over. Black Lotus, Chalice of the Void, Time Vault. Does this create the Fantasticar next turn? I mean, I could flip Lotus into Lotus now, play the Fantasticar, draw top next turn, attack. I don't think there's 4 spells here. There's, what, 3? Oh, wait, but I get to spin the top. All right, yeah, we're good. I think they're dead next turn. Okay, pass the turn. And again, no dredgers here, so they're going to have to Bazaar in the upkeep to try to even find something to do in the draw step. Icarid's involved. Oh, they must have Force Blue card or something. Like, they just didn't even try to dredge. Interesting. All right. Silver Smoke Ghoul, Icarid, Narcomoeba. They're discarding blue cards, which is not nothing. Hollow one, sure. Okay. Icarid dies. End step, I'm going to draw with Sensei's Top, because that's just an extra spell. Okay. Black Lotus, ping you. Bakar, ping you. That's 2, 3. And I'm going to spin the top. See if I find something better to play than Chalice of the Void. And Time Vault's probably better than Chalice. Okay. I mean, I knew that was there, but I had stacked the Chalice. Draw. Blue, blue, blue. Time Vault. Break the car. All of which trigger the Flesh Raker, by the way. That's 4 damage on arrival. Cool. There's that. Grafdigger's Cage. Pithing Needle. Karn can go. Trinisphere and Vexing Bauble look great here. Chalice of the Void can go. Mostly just trying to combo faster than them. There's a little bit of respect for what their deck actually does, but not a lot. Dredge is a deck that could race the car. Do I shave a car? I think I want everything that's mana, and everything that's disruption, and everything that's a tutor, and everything that's a full send on my combo. Yeah, I think the car is a trimmable object. But good news, I still have 3 of them. This hand is very weak to Grief, or Force of Negation, or Force of Will, or Force of Vigor, or Hollow One. But it's very good against everything else. I'm going to keep. I have 2 hate cards, and once again, my deck is more than half mana. They mulled to 6, they powdered, and then they kept a 6. Bizarre. Golgari Thug is in there. Opponent would have to be in the Matrix to counter the Jet. I think I'd rather Needle Bazaar than play Grafdigger's Cage, if this is the sequence we're on. Force of Negation, bad news. Okay. I'm playing on 1 mana, and they have a full turn to do Bazaar stuff. Upkeep, Dredge, Thug, found an Imp. Imp found multiple prized amalgams, and now the Cage is going to be so far behind. But if I draw mana, I can still Flesh Raker, One Ring, go nuts. Like, this is still a winnable game. Creeping Chill, Icarid. Icarid, there's no freebies here. You have to exile one of your dredgers or one of your things that can come back. Exiled the Thug, sure. Dredged Narcomoeba. Oh, multiple Commandeers in this build. Scary. Icarid gets me. Amalgams come back in the end step. If I draw mana here, we're cooking. If not, this game might just be over. Bad news. So I get attacked for 7. All right, I'll play the Grafdigger's Cage and try to buy myself another turn to do anything. There's still 3 Creeping Chills in this deck. Upkeep, Icarid's trigger. But they have missed on dredgers. That Dredge Stinkweed Imp has left them here. So Bazaar in the upkeep so they can at least dredge the Imp. Discarded a Creeping Chill. That's so fucking good for me. That's the card I'm most worried about right now. They've already shown me they don't have a force of any variety, or else it would have happened. All right, deck. Mana and make this game still just a laugher. Okay. Mana Vault. Rim Monolith. They could have Mindbreak Trap, which wouldn't be great for me. Manifold Key. Untap. I'm not going to untap. I am going to untap. All right, I'll untap Mana Vault. And can't play around anything here. I could play Flesh Raker. All right, I can't play around anything anyway, so I'll just make the most powerful play I can. Monolith. I'm going to try to bait out a Mindbreak Trap with Sensei's Top. Okay. Didn't bait them. One ring to rule them all. Were they patient or do they just not have it? We're in. Draw a card. Mystic Forge. Okay. Well, Mystic Forge is pretty bad with my Grafdigger's Cage, however. I need my opponent not to hit both of their Creeping Chills right now. Because I am going to be at 6 guaranteed in my upkeep. And then maybe 5 depending on what I have to do with this Mana Vault. The 5's the same as 6 at this point. I'm going to win this game or I'm not. And I think Creeping Chill is going to be the difference. Dredging Thug. There's a Chill. Is this deterministic? Are they guaranteed to flip their whole deck here? And Chill doesn't target and it's not damage. So this does work. And Cage doesn't affect it. Wait, what just happened? Put in your graveyard. It deals... Oh, it is damage. Okay, never mind. I thought this was loss of life, but it deals 3 damage and you gain 3 life. All right, cool. It's not a drain, so I actually just can't lose this turn. Great. And I hope they hit all their chills right now, so they can't hit me in future turns. Cool. They did a bunch of dredging. Yada, yada. Mostly don't care. Spinning top doesn't matter because I'm going to draw all these cards anyway. I should have stacked this the other way to know what I need to do. All right, it's fine. I'll just take the damage. There's only 1 chill left in the deck. Yeah, if I had taken 1 from the ring, drawn 2 cards. Oh, wow. Doing this now is interesting. Okay. I'll untap Mana Vault then so I don't take damage. Blowing up Cage and Key. All right, that frees my Mystic Forge. Take 1. Draw. City of Traders pretty good. All right, where can we go from here? Second Flesh Raker. Also really good. City of Traders. Trying to do what I need to do here without taking too much damage. The invested Flesh Raker is going to be worth so much mana and damage this turn. Just doing that first. Opponent is Hellbent. Whatever happens here happens. Tez on top. Okay, yeah, just scooping. Yeah, the Mystic Forge plus top is also a loop. Cool, we did it. On to the next round.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks. And groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
I'm on the play for round 3 with a super modest hand that really doesn't do anything. I'm going to mulligan. Well, this is... What is this? This is so weird. So I have the ability to cast and activate Time Vault, but if I don't draw a permanent mana source, it doesn't matter. And this is not colorless mana, so I can't get Flesh Raker into play. And if my opponent has anything, I lose. What a weird hand. I think I have to mulligan this. It just doesn't actually do anything. Weird. Okay, this looks like a keep. Though again, it is more modest than I'd hope. I'll put Talon Gates to the bottom, and I feel like I need my mana. I don't think the car is actually going to room this game. Like, I could play Key past the turn, 1 ring, tap it twice next turn. Yeah, I think I trust in Flesh Raker more than Car on this mull to 5. Sad start. It's just passing the turn here. There's some consideration to leading on City of Traders in case my opponent has Wasteland, but it's so much worse if they don't have exactly Wasteland. Fetch in my upkeep has to be Ancestral Recall. Yep, that's how you do that. Okay. I still think City is better than Saga here. I'm something of an Ancestral Recall myself. Can this resolve? No, it cannot. Pitching Flusterstorm. Seems like we're against Doomsday probably, or just some generic blue Tinker deck. Ooh, bug. Wow. Okay. It is non-Luris bug. Collector Oof in the house. Flush Raker. Grim Monolith. All this a little late. Okay, past the turn. It's Urza's Saga. Almost useful. Okay, never mind. Force of Vigor. Pitching Deathrite Shaman. I think they're mostly worried about Urza's Saga there, and the Grim Monolith is already covered. Wasteland. Yeah, that's good. Can they do anything? All right, Fatal Push. I'm willing to concede to. Okay, Bug. Big Bug. Bug, Big Bug. That's what my opponent's doing. I don't think I want Stone Coil here. Karn, Chalice can go. Key and Top are a little soft to Oofs. Maybe a Grim Monolith goes too. All right, I'll try this and try not to mulligan to 5 this time. I'm not going to mulligan to 5. I'll keep my hand. Lead on Crypt. Tomb. Raker. Top is better against Force of Negation or Force of Vigor. Vault. Why would I play Vault? Because I can. All right, I'll play Vault. Okay, a modest start. Maybe I'm supposed to aggressively spin top there, because if there is just another top on top of the deck, I win. Yeah, I'm not raking hard enough. Fatal Push. Annoying. Okay. Nothing could have been done about that. Right, I'll spin my top. Fantasticar, Soul Ring, another Flesh Raker. Okay, what's the max here? I can flip top, draw Fantasticar, then go car, top, flip top, Soul Ring. I could even dismember my own car, and it'll break in response. Or I could just put Raker on top and present that again. All right, Raker on top, and I am going to draw. No damage. Raker. Let's just play that same turn 1 over again. Top. This is 1 non-creature spell. I will spin here just in case there's a second top. It's a second car. I think I do want to flip and cast the car. Yeah, that's 2 spells, and I'm just going to pass from there and do fair car beats. Also, if my second copy of Fantasticar is my 4th spell next turn, the first one will have broken before then, and there's no legend rule. All right, I am rolled up on that shitbag. I'll take damage from Vault, flip for Crypt, Pain Freeze the way to be, and I'm going to lead on Dismember. That's 1 spell. And then 2, I can flip into Soul Ring here. I can also just spin, see if there's a top under there. Ooh, okay. I'm interested in Urza's Saga. Flip for top, attack for 6, Saga. And the top of my deck in order is top and then Soul Ring. The opponent is dead to face up information right now. They know there's a top on top. The top is worth 5 damage. Then I can attack for another 2. Oh, my screen is freaking out. Okay, MTGO did crash on me for a moment there, but it has uncrashed. Lost a couple minutes on my clock, but we're back. The opponent had Wasteland. I don't think I'm supposed to be untapping. My hot run of Crypt Flips is finally at an end. Sensei's top. Wake up the car. I'll spin the top just in case something good has shown up. Like another Sensei's top, perhaps? Draw a card. Would you like to concede? This will both break the car and deal infinite damage. The car does break before my opponent dies. I could go into combat here. That sounds like a mistake, though. Or no, when the car breaks, my opponent also dies for Xaxes. Disappointing, but also awesome. You draw a card. Last one in the bus. The car breaks. That's 4 more Flesh Raker triggers. There's 5 damage triggers on the stack here. We did it. I haven't really gone nuts yet, but I'm pretty good at grinding out these mopey games. Gotta say. Okay. The only other thing I could do is bring in this last Talon Gates, but I have 3 of them, plus 2 Dismembers. I guess on the draw, a single turn without Collector Oof could be everything. All right, I'm going to switch a car for the fourth Talon Gates. It's also an extra land versus his wasteland deck. Uh, I don't think I could keep this. Yeah, double car. I boarded one out and still got saddled with two of them. I'm one mana short to really do anything I want to do here. I could play and activate top, assuming my opponent doesn't disrupt my mana at all or counter my top. I think this is a all. Okay, we're cooking here. I'll keep this and bottom. I don't think I need Voltaic Key if I have Paradox Engine. Okay, Voltaic Key to the bottom. The key is a trick with Sensei's top. Black Lotus. This is potential hardcast force territory. Oh, baby. Well, that could win the game by itself. A Mox Emerald, Soul Ring, play Paradox Engine. I'd rather this get countered if Counterspell is what they have. Yeah, Consign, that's fine. That was going to get anything they wanted it to. One Ring is more important among the two. Oof. Good vintage cards. Underground Sea, Black Lotus. All right, well, here's that boy. I'll lead on Flesh Raker, see if this can drag out a force. It did not. They could kill it in response here. They did not. They didn't though. Okay, one ring trigger. Consign to memory could get both of these, but it got none of them. Okay, activate the ring. Top. I have just turned on Mindbreak Trap. I'm just gonna hope they don't have one. And if I spin top here and there's another top on top, that doesn't do anything. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna pass right now. I'm out of mana. Fatal push that guy. He's dead. Can they do more with that Lotus? I would not be excited to see Collector Roof here. Oh, Leovold's even worse. Oh my god. Alright. Look at my top three. Leovold is actually not worse than Collector Roof. I lied. It was a lie. I was lying. Okay. Argenta Masticore. Pretty stoked to see that one. Okay. You have a Leovold. And a Psychic Frog. It's a lot of multicolor things here. Masticore. And I know there's a 3-drop on top of my deck that I can draw on my opponent's turn with the One Ring. Strip Mine. Annoying, but okay. Opponent's deep in the tank and is now spending mana. 3 blue in the pool. 3 combat dig through time is interesting. Only 1 card in the graveyard. Not willing to go all in on Frog. Alright, end step. Tap the One Ring. I draw Trinisphere. Spin top. A bunch of Garbo. I guess I'll take an extra Talon Gates, though. Okay, we go to my turn. Masticore discards Trinisphere, kills Leovold. My opponent gets to draw a card for that. But this opens up my One Ring. I take 2. I draw Talon Gates. And then I draw 3, which is another Talon Gates, an Ancient Tomb, and an Unknown, which turned out to be Masticore. I could just double Masticore here and try to get it 1. Or I could spin my top and try to keep going. These are not mutually exclusive. I'll still have 5 mana even after spinning top. Tez, huh? Tez with Workshop under it. All right, I'll put Tez on top. And I think I'm going to go for the double Masticore game for now. And I have a really good next turn set up. Okay, 1 Masticore in, which means I can attack with the other. We got an LOL in the chat. It's funny that I have 2 of these. A single Force of Vigor handles them both. Maelstrom Pulse does not work, though. Specifically that card. I like to imagine my opponent has 4 Maelstrom Pulses in their hand right now, and my permanents have protection from multicolored, indestructible, or could flip out of play at will. A Wasteland taking out Talon Gates rather than Ancient Tomb. Guess they're worried about what? Portable Hole? A Frog is going to connect because my Masticore does not reach. And if my opponent does play Collector Oof right now, I can flip top in response and then discard Tez. Okay, now I don't have to do that. I'll go to my upkeep, and I'm going to stack these. So Ring deals 3 to me, and then I draw 4. And then I have lots of options what to discard. Or JK, I only have Tezzerets to discard. I could still spin top here. Does Tez win the game right now? And he certainly draws a lot more cards. I would feel better if one of these frogs was dead. So let's see, 1, 2, plus 6 in hand. That's 8 damage. Yeah, my ring actually would kill me if I don't deliver the goods here. Yeah, I think spinning top, or I could zoot in Talon Gates. All right, I am going to discard Tez to kill a frog, and then I'm going to discard Ancient Tomb, and then I'll draw for turn. The car. Where were you 1 second ago? Okay, City of Traders, attack for 10, and I can spin top here without losing the trick I was trying to make. Another ring. All right, I mean, I guess I will stack these cards on top and just hope I get to next turn. Time Walk is a card I'm worried about. If they have any kind of artifact or yeah, artifact sweeper, I don't love that either. Put Talon Gates into play from my hand. Freeze that frog out. Something's happening. Oh, consign to memory. That works. And because I tap my MoxNRoll, I can't sweep out the second Talon Gates. Wow, okay. That actually mattered a lot, spinning the top. All right, cool. Still won, but was in danger to a time walk there. A little sloppy. My Raker shop's lack of experience is showing, but we remain undefeated nonetheless. I'm excited to be a special guest for the Excalibur events Niagara Falls weekend, September 25th through 27th, 2026. This event features the pre-modern scaling 25K with $10,000 guaranteed and $5,000 added to the prize pool at 275, 350, and 450 players for a total of $25,000. Gold Border and Collector's Edition cards are legal in this tournament, and you can use up to 10 playtest cards to fill out your deck. Be sure to check the FAQ on the Excalibur website to follow their playtest card policy. This has a chance of being the biggest pre-modern event ever. Sign up now and use code BOSH for $5 off entry. I hope I'll see you there. I am on the play in round 4 with a turn 1 R plus crack. I'm going to keep. When I kept 7. City of Traders, 1 spell. Fantasticar, 2 spells. Mana Crypt, 3 spells. Grim Monolith, my car cracked. Look out. Opponent just said, big fan, love the content. Sorry I'm doing this to you. Tez. Untap Grim Monolith. E. Untap Grim Monolith. And attack for 16. We'll see what they follow up with. I am shields down, and this is vintage. Shop. All right, am I going to get shopped right back? Is there anything I care about? Like, I guess if my opponent goes full Raker combo on me, or time vaults me, that will beat me. I wish they had just make the tokens 5/5s and just get the game done. Why even pretend? Okay. The car mirror. It was very smart and handsome of me to go first. Okay, opponents have 4. They also have a car full of cars. And I'm not quite dead. I have Manifold Key, which means I can make one of my cars unblockable. They can't afford to put any effort on Tezzeret. I guess they could maybe put me to 1 with a crit flip, but still that's not enough. Yeah, I won my crit flip anyway. Versus Saga. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. I choose that construct. And I can use Tezzeret to untap Manifold Key and make another one unblockable, just in case there was some removal spell that I can't fathom. All right, this is what I was worried about. I don't enjoy this type of magic at all. And here I am, forced to play it. I think Chalice and Bob will come out on the draw. Trinisphere comes out on the draw. We're just built for speed here. Got some Mindbreak traps in here. And I don't think I mess... Well, Null Rod's interesting because I am a super Null Rod deck. Like, I'm a deck that everyone wants to be Null Rodding. Is this a counterplay on the play? Dismember probably should have that one in. But I want every one of my cards that wins the game. All right, I'm ignoring Dismember. Mindbreak Trap over my prison pieces that are better on the play. And then on the draw, I'll think about those prison pieces again. Or when I'm on the play, if there is a game 3. 1, 2, 3. This hand is like pretty good, but not quite heinously broken. I think I'm going to keep it. I don't think you can mulligan to Mindbreak Trap. We'll just see what my opponent's working with over there. If I draw a Mox, I have the car. Mana Vault. one spell. Flesh Raker. Top. Uh-oh. Am I getting turn one? Top resolves. They've passed the Mind Break Trap test by this point. Flipping top. That's a random draw. So they did not know it was there when they made that flip. They were just trying to high roll something. Tez. Okay, so that could be a second top. I could lose next turn. But if they search a top now, that shuffles away the top that was on top. I mean, Vexing Bauble actually refreshingly doesn't actually impact what I'm doing, and that is what they got. Okay, so I'm trying to draw any 0 mana card to just 16 my opponent here. Draw for turn. The One Ring. That's not a 0 mana card. It's kind of the opposite. Okay, Gates. I'll play it. And I'll zoot out your Flesh Raker. It'll be back before that really matters, but whatever. Soul Ring. Grim Monolith. And I'll play a Flesh Raker of my own and hope I'm not dead. Yeah, I think that's the line. Next turn, I can play One Ring, which makes a spawn, and we see where we go. And that top is gone. It flipped and then got shuffled away. City of Traders from hand. 2 cards over there. Second Flesh Raker is pretty spooky. 1 card left. Okay, Cracking Vexing Bauble will be 2 cards left. Oh, no. All right, well, this Sensei's top triggers Tez back up to 3. If my opponent has another artifact, they can... Or no, they don't need Tez to win. They just tutor now, and then that's game. All right. I'll make sure they tutor the correct thing. Figured it out. Okay. Shuffled top, ended up double topping me next turn. All good. Now we're in the spot where, like, the Chalices, the Vexing Bauble could matter, but I just get to go first now. Where Vexing Bauble is kind of the thing that would stop Mind Break Trap. And I could cut my Mind Break Traps and just make this game about powerful turn ones. And fuck it, what's interaction anyway? What does a game look like where I have Null Rod in play? Probably not one I'm excited to play. All right. I'll just bring back in all of the stacks pieces I cut when I was on the draw. This hand does not make enough mana. Mulligan. Oh, this hand doesn't make any mana. Mulligan. When I kept 7, that's messed up. The turn 2 Trinisphere, that's not where I want to see that card. I guess I have to keep this, though. I'll get rid of Trinisphere and Mystic Forge. Do I just go double top pass here? All right, tough mulligans. Ancient Tomb, top, pass. I could have spun one of the tops rather than play out the second one. This makes Tolarian Academy better. This makes Glaring Flesh Raker a little worse. Or it's about the same, right? Yeah, I guess I actually should have spun the top. If I could go +1 mana next turn, I get the One Ring. Vexing Bauble. Okay. Mind Break Trap is off. I've boarded that one out. Okay. Opponent on the Null Rod strat. Alright, I guess I'll... Shit. Well, can Urza Saga win this game by itself? I guess is now what we're up to. Vexing Bauble can't be sacrificed because of Null Rod. If they're on a full pivot with like Null Rod the Masticores just becoming Sphere Shops, that would be pretty interesting. I don't know why I didn't replay Sensei's top last turn. My brain doesn't work. All right, pass. I'll make a 2/2 construct that could have been 3/3. Another Ancient Tomb. What are we building up to over there? A Flesh Raker. Okay. And that can block for a long time. But they did not have a follow-up spell. Oh man, Karn is almost so good. Okay, I'm gonna tutor for something that I don't want to draw. I think that's a safe way to do this. Like if I just get Black Lotus, that's a card that I'm not allowed to cast if I draw it. Yeah, I'll just get Lotus. And attack for 4. Could have been 5, but who's counting? Certainly the opponent with double Ancient Tomb won't need their life total. I'm hoping my opponent's hand is all just like Null Rods and Mind Break Traps. Second Flesh Raker is really good. That's so many blockers and so much damage on the pushback. Car, that can attack with Null Rod in play. It can also trigger right now. Opponent's got 3 cards in hand. They've cast 1 non-creature spell so far. Oh god, the third Flesh Raker. Yeah, this is a great Null Rod hand. GG. I'm not beating this. And the car. No, the car's not waking up, but I am dead. All right, well, they showed me what a game where you win with Null Rod looks like, and it's where you draw all of your things that don't care about Null Rod. On to the next round.
The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with the Resleevables. In this YouTube series, hosts Patrick Sullivan and Patrick Chapin go set by set through Magic's past, leveraging their decades of experience as Pro Tour players and game designers to analyze the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a deep dive into the facts, mechanics, cycles, trivia, decks of the time, and historical context of the set. The hosts dig into notable cards of the era and their lasting impact today. Each set gets an award show where the hosts pick their favorite cards for categories such as Best, Worst, and Weirdest. And finally, give a letter grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Resleevables has it at youtube.com/theresleevables.
I'm on the play in the final round. Positive record locked, playing for the bread and butter 4-1. This is a turn 1 Tez that can also Chalice on 0. Follow it by Mystic Forge. I'm going to keep this. Maybe I'm not being aggressive enough here, but this looks just nice. I don't know what to say. It looks nice. Ancient Tomb, Grim Monolith, Tez. Do I tutor now or untap Monolith now? I think I untap Monolith now, and then I'll Chalice on 0. Be a big jerk. Okay, I hope that Chalice on 0 is good against what my opponent's doing, and I'm set up to Mystic Forge next turn and get cranking. Uh-oh, a Workshop Mirror. I hope that Chalice was big. They didn't do anything else. Pretty sweet. Okay, I was going to save my land drop, but it's not going to get better than Mishra's Workshop unless it's an academy way down the road. But I don't think that's how this works. All right, Mishra's Workshop, Mystic Forge. Top of my deck is another Mishra's Workshop. I can clear that with Forge. Soul Ring, let's go. Conveniently around the Chalice of the Void. Tez can emblem here, or he can go get a top. Oh, I can cast colorless spells too. There's not really a sequence where that's beneficial though, right? Or yeah, if I emblem Tez, then play the other one. That's just like kind of free money. I think I'd rather have a Sensei's top though. Yeah, top just cranks so hard through this. Mystic Forge and Trinisphere. Do I even want to play that? Not really. I'm going to spin my top. Or I could just draw a card with top. That's mostly the same thing. All right, draw a card with top. Play top. Here we go. Cast Glaring Flesh Raker. There's not a 0 on top of my deck right now. And drawing a card with top wouldn't put one there. Okay, I just need to not die right now, and I win. Okay, pass the turn. A 3 mana, a car. I am at 15. That's unlucky. Oh no. I am just going to die to this thing, aren't I? 1, 2. It's happening. The Trinisphere would have saved me. And these things fly. Can't even block. Yep, GG. Good times, good times. Vintage is thriving. Okay, on the play. In last round, we saw this Null Rod business be kind of sick against me. I think on the play, I'm still just trying to send it. And on the draw, I'll go to my Mindbreak traps. I haven't been talked out of this yet. Oh, that stinks. Could I have found one more mana somewhere on that turn? All right, what does this one do? This is a turn 1 ring plus. All right, what? All right, Tez is actually kind of hard to cast here. So if I go Ancient Tomb Black Lotus, that's 5 mana. Tez with 2 floating. Tez gets Mana Crypt, plays 1 ring. I don't think that actually does what I want. I think I just want to play the 1 ring and Vexing Bauble. All right, I'm going to keep a Shop, Lotus, ring first. This plays around Mindbreak Trap. We're in there with the ring. Draw a card. Trinisphere. You were almost good. Okay, pass the turn. All right, They've had enough. Cool. The turn 1 win. And now to the sideboard. My lock pieces out, my mind break traps in. What does this null rod strat even look like? So if I bring in my mind break traps, my null rods, my Argentum Masticores, I guess Trinisphere stays in that configuration, and I would end up cutting a bunch of my stuff. No, I'm not convinced. I don't like that. Now I'm on the draw. My hand is almost identical to the last one. I'll keep it. This is a hand that might beat getting 16'd. Oh, Time Vault. That's a good card. Manifold Key. Do you have another mana? Fuck off. All right, well, that you need another mana though. Shop doesn't do that. I don't think I've time vaulted anyone in this league. You need an actual mana here. That still doesn't do it because you need the key to untap 2 things. All right, that'll do it. All right. What a thrill ride. A 3-0 start versus other decks and then losing 2 mirror matches to close out the league. I don't quite know how to sideboard. Like, I'm obviously, these null rods are in here for a reason, but it's not like I got a turn to make a decision in that last one where it didn't matter what cards were in my deck other than the mind break traps, which were in the deck. I gotta say, I don't really like Raker Shops as a deck. I don't like this kind of Magic. I don't like signing up for this kind of Magic. And I don't like that it just got a giant boost in Fantasticar. Why can't we boost Oath of Druids? Why don't we print something that's just as good as Consign to Memory? Like a just as powerful counterspell that all blue decks get to play instead of this shit. Yeah, it's fun to send it. It's not fun to not get a turn in a game. I know we're playing Vintage and that's part of the range, but if Raker Shops, which was already a top deck, also is now Oops All Spells, where you just get 2 different buttons you can smash and they perfectly dovetail together. I don't like this. I hope either the metagame adjusts quickly or Wizards takes action quickly, whatever is necessary here. Because Vintage up to this point was phenomenal for the last long time. It's been a long time since Vintage was truly broken or unbalanced in a way that isn't fun to play. And I know myself, and even if this is the best deck by a mile, I don't want to play it because the mirror match is such horseshit. And I prefer to make decisions and play a game when I sit down to play a game, not a like Goldfish turn order simulator. Yeah, this shit sucks. I hope it is not legal for very long. I'm going to leave this one here, and I'm probably not going to play Vintage again until I have to, as long as this is what's going on. Claire, thanks for the league. Shout out trans rights. Everyone, thanks for watching. See you next time.